Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video. I wish I could say that this is going to be some sort of epic road trip, but really I just need to do some shopping. I haven't been able to travel a lot, haven't been doing a lot of videos recently. Part of it is sort of background. I'm getting some stuff set up so I can finish at least the first Ford Ranger electric project. So I'll start to provide more updates on that. Just kind of setting up a workspace and a place to actually showcase what I'm doing and what I'm working on, finishing out that battery pack. And then, of course, the stuff that doesn't probably interest anyone on this channel is it looks like the fuel pump on my truck finally went out, after 20 plus years. So I guess that makes sense, but it's still a pain in the butt. I'm over $100 now just into parts, and this is just diagnosing everything and trying to fix it. So I'm still running 100%. Right, every gas station I visited has had a gas pump down. So much for gas pump reliability. But I guess on both counts, in the truck and in the gas station. But anyway, so I I'm starting to feel the not having a truck. So I either need to fix the Ford F-150 gas truck, or I need to get the Ranger up and running. But I need a truck, and I'm starting to feel the lack of it. So that's kind of what I've been working on. And then again, just regular day job. They've been really turning the screws recently with the shifts and just the amount of time that I'm expected to be logged in and producing stuff has been really ratcheted up recently. So working 50, 60-hour weeks is not conducive to also doing all of these other things and being able to keep regular updates to you. But I figured I'd do this now. This is a work day. I'm leaving a little bit early because I figured I need to go pick something up. Shortest route is about 100 miles each way. The faster driving route is about 115, 120. So I'm kind of pushing the upper limits of the range of the Bolt EV. And I figured, well, while I'm doing that, I haven't taken this route for a while. So I'm going to take you guys along, maybe check out some known charging locations and maybe some potential charging locations and maybe some that haven't opened. I don't know how much time I have. In addition, like I said, this is a work week. And then I'm not going to do any of like the driving, filming, 3D camera or anything. I'm just going to cut to stops just because, well, processing 3D video is a pain. And it kind of slows down the process. And again, we have a upcoming bonus Coast to Coast EVs presentation this week. So I'm hoping you all can chime in and watch if you aren't watching this after that's already been published. So anyway, I figured I could do this trip if I left by about 5 p.m. and still make it to the stores and then make it back home again in a reasonable period of time. But if I want to check out some of the chargers along the way, make some extra stops, who knows, maybe also get some Trader Joe's run in while I'm down there. I need to leave now, so it's just after 4 p.m. And I turned off Hilltop Reserve mode so that I got a little bit of a bump. If I'm going to end up DC fast charging, this really doesn't make a huge amount of difference. But if I run into issues or I get lazy or I don't want to stop and charge or whatever the case may be, this, at least gives me the potential of making a 220 to 230 mile round trip without having to stop to charge. I'm not going all the way to full. In fact, I'm just about to leave now, so let's get ready to head out. All right, well, I made a quick stop here in Dunigan. I wanted to check out the Pilot Flying J, or I guess just the Pilot station here. And I think this is going to be before Orland, just based on the maps that I saw. But I haven't seen any additions or construction or any indications that they're getting ready to start at this site yet with the GM Energy stuff. But they are going to be putting in, I guess, replacing the Denny's with the Mel's Diner, which for those of you who aren't familiar, yes, that is an upgrade. But what I wanted to call attention to is, as I was circling around, it looks like Dunigan is going to be home to one of the larger supercharger sites. So let's get out for a second and check it out. So we're at an AM/PM ARCO location. I don't think it's an affiliated property. I think it's technically Dunigan, like gateway or something of that nature. But as you can see over here, they put in a small supercharger across from the Pilot. There's some stuff there, Burger King, I think a Taco Bell, stuff like that. Starbucks is over in the corner. So there's some amenities here. But this is the bigger deal, it looks like. So I don't know if this is replacing one of the ones that they got grant funding for. I don't think it is. I think they just canceled those. But 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So looks like maybe 50. I'd have to do an exact count, you know, or check for sure. But yeah, it looks like about 50 of these V4 dispensers, but probably the same sort of V3.5 hardware behind it. I mean, I guess the bigger deal is, of course, the canopies that are at least going to block out some of the sun. So that's nice. So, and the thing is, Dunigan is one of the locations that needs these larger sites. I still don't agree with having a site this large. I would much rather half the stalls, double the power, which is what Tesla should have been doing to begin with. And then you're maintaining the same throughput, but you know, supporting these newer, faster charging EVs. But the next exit down is the Electrify America charger that I've used a number of times. And there's a small charge point charger at the Chevron down there. And then again, I think this is going to be one of the pilots over here that gets the GM Energy. And then again, there's also a smaller supercharger that I think is V3. So technically, I think Rivian and Ford owners already have access. But the reason that Dunigan is so important is it's right off of I-5. But it's where I-5 breaks off onto 505 and then just continues down. So if you're heading south from Portland or Seattle or Vancouver, you get to this junction and then you decide, am I going to take I-505 and go to the San Francisco Bay Area, or am I going to stay on I-5 and go down to Sacramento or you know, parts south from there. So this is a really important junction. And of course, if you're heading north and you're going to Portland or Seattle, well then, yeah, you're going to want to, you know, you're going to want to either come from the Bay Area probably, or from Sacramento. And then at that point, you can just merge onto I-5 here. But this junction, this Road 8 exit, is right north of the junction. Then the Road 6, like I said, that has the Electrify American charge point is just down from here. So Dunigan is one of those sites that should have a ton of chargers. And then this is a good example of that. So anyway, I'm burning daylight and I'm going to hit the road. All right, so I wanted to make a quick stop here. I don't really need to charge yet. I'm actually over 50% battery still. Just charging at like just under 50 kilowatt. But this is the Sacramento International Airport, and it's a pretty busy charger. But the reason I wanted to kind of check it out is, yeah, so not that fast. The reason I wanted to check it out is just these have been updated. So it does look like they preserved the BTC power. This, they've done a lot of work just around the airport in general. It looks like there's a lot of construction here, a lot of expansion, parking lots. You can see the construction equipment still here. A lot of stuff is new, but yeah, and again, this is a busy station, right? You have 2, 4, 6, now a 7th EV plugged in. But yeah, these used to be the older BTC power units. Not very good, honestly. They had, like, the screens would burn out. They weren't very reliable. You know, when it went in, it was pretty impressive. It's 2, 4, 6, 8 chargers. So one of the bigger stations that was available at the time. And then of course just convenient, just off the interstate. That was the other thing too, is the traffic is really bad right now. So I was already going to be stuck in traffic. So I wanted to just come here, check this out, plug in while I was here, just an opportunity charge. Like I said, no biggie. This Mach-E looks like it's a Uber driver who's sleeping in his car already at 80% or 81%. So I expect this station to probably be pretty busy. And this is one of the ones that, unless Electrify America wants to really cater to rideshare, I would suggest that they do that 85% cutoff at a station like this too. It just keeps people churning, keeps them moving in and out. You don't want people gumming up these chargers. There was a single green lot charger put in over the way by SMUD years ago, and I don't even know how that's, maybe I should check it out at some point. I don't even know if it's still up. And then of course the AM PM is just, used to be a much easier walk. Now there's a divide. I guess you could go down to the crosswalk, go across, you have a convenience store stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time here. Again, I'm kind of burning daylight and I need to get back on the road, especially if I don't know how much traffic there is getting through Sacramento. But yeah, I just wanted to stop by and see exactly how things were going. And then these aren't exactly the cheapest, right? So and I did check, and my membership is active. So I don't know why this is showing 56 cents per minute. So anyway, now the charging speed's not available, but yeah, just 4 minutes, whatever, not a big deal. I'm just going to go ahead and stop the charge now. I'll probably have opportunities to charge later on in the day. So yeah, I just wanted to call that out because it's nice to see these improvements being made. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I gotta check out why my account looks like it's still locked out. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, Charger 8, like I said, it's really busy. And then lots of EVs here as well. But, you know, decent improvement from Electrify America. Maybe just add some canopies here and they're good. Well, well, well. In my adventures, right near a Trader Joe's even, look what I found. A McDonald's. But how do I get in there? I'm not sure. Just a McDonald's, nothing else to see here. Is that a McDonald's in the distance? No. Yeah, this is nice. 350 kilowatt. EVs when charging only. Who's that? Whew. Well, so I wanted to check this site out while I was down here, like I said, doing some shopping. There's another Electrify America site just over there. I'm actually going to grab some dinner too, because it looks like they upgraded that one as well. So I want to check that out. Like, it's literally just down the block. I've been there before. So this is Rocklin, for those who don't know. And this is clearly they're cashing in on the Costco connection. So thoughts, because this hasn't been powered up yet. These aren't available, and it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then with those two over there, 14 chargers. So it's a decent sized spot. And like I said, considering the fact that, and now I forget, there are either 6 or 8 Electrify Americas just up like the street, like literally like a half a block. I normally am not a big fan of sites this size. You know, once you get to a certain point, I feel like you should just build another site nearby. But this already kind of checks that off with, like I said, between the 14 chargers here and then just up a block, another 6 or 8 chargers, you're already up to 20 chargers now, or 22 chargers now. Yeah, so this is like, I feel like it's a bit of overkill, but I've seen Costco gas stations before, and they fill up. And so if the idea is people are going to come here to Costco, and they're going to plug in their electric vehicle and then go shopping, yeah, I could totally see this. Now, the one thing I will say is, if you're just by yourself, this is kind of inconvenient because it's a long walk. This is the far side of the parking lot from the entrance to Costco. But if you're gonna go in there for a long period of time anyway, yeah, I don't know, you're just adding, I feel like if you're gonna do this, then maybe like 50 kilowatt, because it's gonna be an hour and a half shopping trip by the time you get your groceries and get back out here. So having 350 kilowatt split power chargers, you know, you're going to be really like pressed for time, I think. Yeah. Just try to get a good angle of the bolt and all of the charging glory. And then these ones are also the BTC power units. So I believe it's Signet and BTC power. You know, I'm not a huge fan of BTC power. I've kind of cooled off on them, just because I feel like the screens in particular are an issue. So they have burnout faster than any other screen on any other charging dispenser that I've seen from any other company. So I'm not sure what that's about. So not a huge fan of that. I also don't know when this site is going to be powered up. Just a lot of chargers. I mean, none of them pull through. Like I said, it really does look like it's just here, along with those two other there that do look like ADA stalls. But again, ADA stall, and you're going to make them go all the way across the parking lot to get into the store. That just doesn't make sense to me. And I wonder too, it looks like, could they be missing some cabinets? No, but they do have conduits for, it looks like they could support looks like they could support another 6 stalls, which is crazy. The transformers are in too, it looks like. The switchgear, all of that looks like it's in. So, yeah, I don't know what this site is waiting on to power up, but this is a massive, massive site. Yeah, and I always call this Rocklin, but I guess this is Rocklin Drive, I think, but it's technically Loomis. Well, and this is saying it's College Boulevard, so maybe not. You have the cabinets here, like I said. Again, BTC power cabinets. Let's see if, yeah, and these are the 350 kilowatt cabinets, right? So each one of these supports 2 stalls. So it's 200 to 950 volts at 500 amp max. So pretty beefy. And then, like I said, looks like they could expand even more. The other thing too is I look at this site and I think, well, what if you wanted to go to McDonald's? It might actually, there's no direct pathway across. It still might be faster to walk out there, walk down the sidewalk into McDonald's, and then come back out again and then head back to your car. So I don't know. Overall though, I think this is a pretty cool site. Like I said, for me, when I do site reviews, site scoring, at a certain point I stop giving additional credit for larger, you know, more dispensers or whatnot, because to me, I'm also kind of worried about the throughput. Having an average of 150 kilowatt, 175 kilowatt per stall, I think puts Electrify America ahead of most networks, just in terms of that average power, because it also leads to a more consistent customer experience. I realize I'm talking about Electrify America, but if they get their reliability issues, their interoperability issues sorted out, they really are one of the premier charging providers. And then this is another one of those win-wins where people who go to Costco, do you go to Costco once a week and then only commute 20 or 30 miles a day? You could basically come here once a week, fill up your electric car. You wouldn't need charging at home. Even if you don't, like I said, occasionally maybe you go to McDonald's, or worst case scenario, you sit around and check some emails and watch a movie or something while you're charging. But ideally, I try to do double duty whenever I'm charging. So again, the other charger's over there. It's gonna be a long trip home regardless. So I still haven't grabbed dinner yet, and I still need to finish some shopping. So I'm gonna go. Like I said, I don't know when this site is gonna get powered on, but it's a good looking site, Electrify America. I'm happy to see it, and looking forward to when we get a nice big charging site. Oh, and I should mention, it's not too far off the freeway, right? If you're traveling I-80, this is a very, very valid travel stop as well. So, and then if you're a Costco member, I guess it makes sense. Go in and grab a pizza and some snacks or whatever while you're charging just off of the freeway. So very nice. And then of course the signage also means that they get to tow people who try to block these chargers. So that's also pretty cool. So, all right, Electrify America, Costco. It's time for me to bolt out of here. All right, well, all is not well that ends well, or something. So I just plugged in. There are 6 chargers here. Like I said, I was gonna come and grab something to eat and then go shopping at Trader Joe's, but I might reverse that order. So it's 6 chargers. All of them are full. Again, BTC power, but this one is Kaputa right now. It's a charger 2, has looks like it's logged out, and it's not, the credit card reader isn't there. And so we have a bunch of people who are charging already or plugged in, or all of the stalls are taken. So I'm just going to run over and do my grocery shopping, come back, and if there's anything open and available, then I'll grab my food and eat. If not, I'll probably just start heading home and maybe take a different route to get home. So all right, try to finish my shopping. All right. Well, one of the chargers opened up after we got back from Trader Joe's, and yeah, it's time for a little, what do they call it, mukbang or whatever. I don't know. I'm not Tesla Bjorn. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to eat, and I'm going to finish charging up. There's actually a couple of chargers open now. There's one couple that I think they were in a EV6. I can't tell if they were at a working charger and they weren't able to get it working because of something that they were doing, because they moved to a different charger. The charger that they were at was then being used, I think, by an Ioniq 6, and the new charger they moved to had been used by ID4, and they were still standing outside trying to get it activated. So I think of the 6 chargers here, only one is down. But this is just a great location. There's 6 chargers here. I could see them expanding it, even knowing that there's that 14 stall charger just down the street at Costco, because this site is just such a better site. Like this site, I could see putting 14 stalls in, right? Because literally just up the crosswalk, you have a Greek restaurant. I think it's a Korean barbecue restaurant. There's a Chipotle, there's a Subway, there's all sorts, and then there's a Panera Bread. You have a bunch of different places to eat, not to mention there's also a Target here. And if you're willing to walk much, much farther, things like a Trader Joe's at the other end. But yeah, this is just a much better site. And so they've upgraded the equipment. Like there's one charger that's down. Some people would say that's still unacceptable. It was certainly inconvenient when there were 5 other cars pulled into the stall. But you know, that's that balancing act, right? The proper number of stalls. I saw Liv and Patrick from the Mach-E blog talking about how they just feel so much more comfortable pulling into a Tesla Supercharger that they have access to now with their Mach-E because of the number of stalls, right? It's not necessarily even that it's more reliable. A few of the chargers that they visited on their recent trip, there were superchargers that were down, right? And then there were also, it's not even necessarily the best stop because there are superchargers without any shading and needles, right? Like 108-degree day, you don't want to be standing out in the sun baking while you're trying to charge your car. So they're not even necessarily the best stops, right? But because of the number of chargers, the likelihood of being able to access a stall is really what prompts them to prioritize the superchargers. And so in this case, you know, 6 chargers or 6 stalls for Electrify America, given this is just off of I-80 at what is realistically one of the better stops that they have. Yeah, this site could easily support 10 to 12 chargers, and I think even with the 14 stall charger at Costco, just like a block up the road, they wouldn't be saturating this area, right? This shopping plaza itself could probably support another 10 to 20 stalls from other charging providers just because of how big this retail plaza is. Anyway, I'm gonna eat, let the doggy have a treat. He loves Chipotle. And then let him water the roses a little bit and head back. And then the other nice thing about this charging at this location means that by the time I finish my food and I'm ready to leave, I'm literally heading straight home on the fastest route home. So that even though it's still an hour and a half to get home, you know, it is a work night, I'm at least getting there, you know, as quickly as possible, having eaten dinner and not having to make another stop. So I could really close out the video here, and I might just do that if nothing else eventful happens. So you had all of your overlay, and now I'm really hungry, and I'm gonna eat. And you know, if that's that, then that's that. And you got all your B-roll while I was, you know, expositioning my conclusion. And if this is it, well, thank you for watching. I hope this gave you a little bit more of a glimpse into what we're seeing with the updates and new charging going in the North State, north of Sacramento and I-80. So as always, thank you for watching. Peace.